How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today we got ourselves Pokemon rumors to take a look at, as well as some actual news that may have some relevance. But we're going to start things off with this post right here, which was sent my way, called Leaks Starters Gen 10. And it includes this image in the background, as you guys can see right here. This image of some kind of creature and two characters in the background, and some grass. The second image is this one right here of, again, some weird looking creature, a character in the background. And then there's even more, just same exact, like, I guess, image or whatever, just in a different position. You also have this right here, which, again, looks very similar in style, relatively speaking, to the other images. Again, here you get to see, like, the same looking creature from two different poses. But again, like, the biggest guess here is this most likely AI for most people, or it's from some different kind of game that's being made. I highly doubt this is Pokemon, though. I'm just gonna be real with you. This is definitely not Pokemon. Again, especially nowadays, you can easily fake things with, like, AI and stuff. It's very easy to just add a prompt and you can create stuff that looks like legitimate somewhat. But it's very easy to kind of spot it nowadays. The other option could be that it could be like a game that's being made by a different studio or something. 'Cause there's a lot of Pokemon style games or monster capturing or monster tamer games that are being created. So it could be something like that. The most likely scenario is that it's AI. Like, that's the most likely, like, thing, right? That's what would be most likely the case. Because even the creature design here just looks a little, how would you put it? Like, it doesn't look bad, actually. Like, it doesn't look like a bad design, like, necessarily or anything, but it doesn't look like anything specific either. It just kind of looks like one of those mashed up things that you get if you try to make, like, an AI Pokemon. So, again, nothing too special. That's just the reality of it. Like, it just doesn't look like anything super crazy or anything like that, right? That's the way I would put it. So, yeah, that's basically my opinion on that. I don't think it's real. I think it's the furthest thing from real, but there's always a chance that maybe this is somebody who actually did make this themselves and it's not AI. So I'm not going to say automatically that it's AI. Again, it could be somebody's actual art, but too much of it does feel like it's leaning in that AI style, especially with, like, the Ghibli face over here on the character, sort of. That's sort of what it's almost implying, but yeah, most likely AI. I mean, what even is this supposed to be? The eyes look all wonky. The arms aren't really arms. So yeah, most likely just AI gibberish, most likely. But I thought I would share it because I thought it was funny. But now let's move over to the actually important stuff that I think we have to talk about, which I think is more interesting. And that's going to be, first and foremost, this right here. Now, this is from Centro, who says that, did you guys know that Pokemon Legends Arceus was originally planned to have a semi-real-time battle system similar to Final Fantasy, I want to say 7? Final Fantasy 7? And now, Pokemon attacked automatically, but you could open the command menu, which would slow time to give them a specific order and use attacks. And I guess here we can see, like, what that was meant to look like based on this footage, right? You could basically, like, literally slow down time and choose an attack, and then that attack would be what you sort of went for. So it's like automatic battles. Now you could pull up a more traditional style command menu at any point. So again, really interesting to see the concepts they were trying. Like, really curious to see, like, what the stuff they were actually trying to do already. So that means that this ID for Legends EA was something they already wanted to try, but I guess in the end they decided to sort of scrap it purely out of the necessity of getting the game done, and maybe the system wasn't as good as they wanted it to be. And now with ZA, they've sort of found, like, a nice balance, because I'm going to tell you right now, ZA feels amazing. Like, ZA feels really good. Combat feels nice and fun, and it's different. That's the biggest thing. It feels different than just, you know, like, regular turn-based combat from Pokemon, which I think is really cool. And this all comes here from this video. Game Freak has been working on making Pokemon battles real-time for a long time now, and their vision is now finally fully realized with ZA. New video with additional insight on Legends Arceus development and lots of interesting points, which, yes, I mean, we can see it right there on this video, that early development, right? This is Legends Arceus, December 20th, 2019. So this is like one of the earliest builds. I'm guessing this is most likely, Turtleboard, first of all, made this video. Shout out to him. This is most likely one of the builds that came from the big leak, right? Like the massive leak that happened. Because those builds have came out, but like only, I guess, in recent time that people have been able to actually dive through most of it. But it's kind of cool to see the different things that are in here, right? Like, just to see the different, like, you know, what do you call it? Like, the different cut content, and of course the build that shows the original battle system, like the actual battle system they wanted to do but ended up not going for, which we now have is ZA, which is just really cool to see that they were already planning it but now we've gotten it fully realized, which, again, I'm very much on board for. So there's that. Next thing, though, is this post right here. Now, this was from Centro, and it just has a picture of a dude, and then down here, Felipe, I guess, is what it says at the bottom. Now, people were guessing that Felipe was this dude. I guess that's what Danny down here says, but it's just a bit random. I was trying to figure out, like, what exactly this means, like, what he meant by this, but it could potentially be because in the last few days, there's been a lot of talks about a potential leaked version of ZA dropping, right? So remember, like, there are people who have their hands on Legends ZA already, but not in the final game. They have a version of the game that was from that giant leak that happened, right? The giant Legends, sorry, not Legends, the Game Freak leak, the Terror leak. So people do have versions of that, and right now we're all on basically leak watch. We're all just pocket watching these Twitter accounts and stuff, and Discord and Reddit and 4chan, just waiting for somebody to drop the game, to drop the actual playable build, which does exist. There exists a playable build. Otherwise, all these leaks that we've had over the last while wouldn't even have came out. But we know for a fact that it exists. And it's just a matter of time before it drops, and I think maybe that's what he's referencing here. Could also just be that the character has some relevance, because remember, we do still need to learn more about the story in this game, and I guess, I mean, we're so close to the release now that we're just going to have to play it and see. The other thing, though, is, as a lot of people have mentioned, is that looking at, like, the ghost girl, like, the maniac girl, I forget what her name is, like, the ghost girl from Lumios, it's interesting, but people are noticing that she has a very specific, like, little neck ribbon thing, which looks, as far as I'm aware, like, somewhat similar to a Drifloon? Am I crazy? I think that's what it kind of looks like. Am I not crazy, right? I feel like that's what it looks like. I guess the other thing would be a chandelier. Well, actually, because Drifloon has also, like, striped kind of eyes. Am I crazy? Drifloon, like, one of them. I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact that, like, it looks obviously, like, somewhat like Chandelier. We know Chandelier is definitely going to get, like, a mega. That's not even a question, okay? It's not even a question. Okay, no. I was confusing Drifblim, like, with having, like, the same kind of eyes or whatever, but no, it actually has, like, 2 red eyes and an X for its mouth or whatever, because it's kind of like a balloon, right? It's kind of like, well, yeah, it literally is a balloon. I guess it's been taped up. No, but Chandelier, Mega Chandelier is something we know is happening, as we have had a massive, like, you know, mega leak that specifically confirmed that, right? We know that's happening for a fact. That's not even really a question or something to even really, like, think about that much, because it's definitely going to be happening. So not super crazy, but definitely something, you know, to just keep in mind, because it is going to be relevant for, you know, the future of new megas being revealed. Just keep that in mind. It's just one of those things to remember in your head. It's not, like, necessarily something you have to, like, think about, you know, way too much, let's say like that, but it's definitely something to recall, because it will be relevant at some point, okay? Like, it will come up at some point that Chandler is going to get a mega. Now, will it get revealed? Most likely not. As we already know from none else than Riddler Coup himself, if you go over to his account, you will notice that he specifically tweeted out this message, like, right here, where basically he implied that, oh, the last 4, you're not going to see any more megas than these, right? And when he says 4, I wonder why he said 4, because we only really got, like, what, 3 megas? Plus, I mean, I guess technically, yeah, but I guess the DLC doesn't count, so it is what it is. It says the last 4 Pokemon got Mega got announced before the release. No other promotion trailers. Time to call out the early game leakers of Ikaku to post all the shit at once. Can't wait. So, yeah, basically here he's just saying it himself that, guess what? That's it. You've gotten all the actual official information. It's all been revealed. There's nothing else you're going to get. And now it's just up to the actual people who leak stuff to actually leak stuff. Like, it's their job now to drop actual leaks and stuff. And I'm telling you, right now we are on leak watch, okay? We are like pocket watching, you know, all these homies who just hopefully have this shit and can drop it. There has been these posts on 4chan, like this one right here, with this dude being like, you know, like, I think he says, like, are y'all excited for ZA? And then a picture of what's supposed to be, I guess, like a 2DS, or sorry, Switch 2DS, what did I say, 2DS? A Switch 2, sorry, with the actual logo and stuff. Now, the thing is, I can't recall for the life of me what the ZA thingy looked like the actual, like, thingy, but this is not what the opening screen, like the main menu screen looked like in the game. I'm pretty sure it looked different than this. So I can already tell you right there that it's most likely not real, because I played the demo, and I know the demo had a different thing going on, but I'm feeling like they should keep the same logo style and everything as the demo, so I highly doubt that was real. The other thing, though, as well is we have this post right here from N. Weedle, who basically shared saying, a leak expressed the missions and rewards are gearing up for an update. Achievements are coming. And this is basically comes from, I think, a patent saying that new rewards that we'll receive depending on the game we play, icons, wallpaper, points. Points will be received to redeem for rewards, but rewards will be also received directly by playing specific games, so completing certain achievements within the games, using a specific weapon, defeating a boss without taking damage, etc. You'll be able to see the rewards and achievements that other users have earned and those they haven't. By meeting certain conditions, rewards can be exchanged. You'll be able to choose your favorite rewards to be automatically redeemed when you have enough points, and mandatory to be a Nintendo Switch Online user. Now, again, I don't know if this is real or not, because there is one person who has said that this isn't the case. I don't remember exactly who said it. I think it might have been Central Leaks, who said that this is not actually going to be happening. Like, this is not what we're getting. Rather, what this is, like, it's just a patent for the Nintendo, like, reward system that they've had in the past. So nothing new is coming from it. It's just more or less just confirming existing stuff that we already know and have. That's pretty much where that went with. I don't think much else has been really mentioned about this. There's been a few other posts. Some people have been asking, like, is this real? Referring back to an old post, when Nintendo Switch 2 has performance selector for handheld mode in its own menu, prioritizing battery over power. This was shared by developer with some colleagues, along with some of the details about a development kit, which, again, there is no performance selector for handheld mode, as far as I'm aware. This was never confirmed real. I mean, I remember I talked about this when it was posted last year, but since then, nothing was confirmed about that either. So I don't really know if anything valuable is coming in that regard. So I don't know, like, actually having proper rewards and achievements and like on the Switch 2 would be sick, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think that would be really cool. Xbox has achievements, the Xbox achievements. PlayStation has achievements. Steam has achievements. I just don't think Nintendo has any achievements, does it? Because I cannot, at any point in my life, remember there being Nintendo achievements that you get for doing stuff in the games. And I'd love that. I'd love to do achievement hunting in Nintendo games, because it would give me a reason to play them more. And it would give me a reason to replay those games that I haven't played in a long time. Like, if they had a bunch of achievements for Pokemon games, brother, I would be spending so much time just trying to get those achievements, because that's the kind of stuff I enjoy in games. Like, I enjoy those kind of elements. But unfortunately, that's not the case here. They are not probably doing that, but it would be really sick. Like, I think adding Nintendo achievements would be, like, straight up peak, like actual peak if they did that. But again, we are talking about Nintendo here, and they are a company, let's just say, well known for not wanting to really put in any extra effort than the bare minimum. Like, and I know that sounds really rude or whatever, but it's just the truth, okay? Like, it's a little too much for them to do more than just the bare minimum amount of work. But again, they have basically just more or less filed a patent for this sort of level achievement system, right? And we can show you guys here that this has been proven by a few other people, like, for example, here, by Obi-Wan Plays, who says Nintendo has filed a patent for a system-level achievements. Yes. So yes, if they do add achievements, man, I would love that. Like, I would love achievements for different games. That would be fun. It would genuinely be so much fun. And it's honestly about time, as Big Buy Wolf here says here. It's about time, and it really is. It really is time for them to add this, because at the end of the day, all these other consoles have it, and it's such a small thing. Like, I know it might sound like, okay, it still will require some level of work, obviously, but I do feel like they kind of need to do a little bit more, whereas, like, let me put it like this, okay? I can go onto my Legion Go here, which I know is more expensive than a Switch 2, yes. But here's the difference, though. If I want to go on the Move, which is kind of what I use the Switch for, like, in general, like, I only really use the Switch 2 or the Switch 1 or any of the Switches just to play Pokemon games for the most part. There are other games I enjoy as well, but the reality of it is I'm not going to play Dark Souls on the Switch 2 or the Switch 1. I'm going to play it on the Legion Go or on my PC. But here's the thing. If I want to go on the Move, I have to use the Legion PC, like, the Legion here. I have to use this Legion Go as my only way of actually being able to play the games on the Move. And this thing has Steam. And also the Xbox Game Pass, so you have achievements through that as well. But more so Steam, okay? I'm going to be honest. I mostly play Steam games. So just purely off of that, I don't need to go and buy the game again and then not have those options be in there. Like, I'm actually doing a run of Dark Souls 3 right now, and I can get all the achievements on Steam. There's actually things and purposes for me to do it. Even though, please do not try, like, pro tip, don't try to do all the achievements in Dark Souls 3. You will hate yourself. But mainly the point is, like, it's an option on here. I can actually do it. I mean, look, I even got Pokemon back there. So my point is, like, you know, we already have that as an option on another handheld, and I know it's a small thing, but it'd be really cool if they added that, because that'd give me an incentive besides the already existing incentives that I have with this thing, but it'd give me more incentives to actually play certain games that are exclusive and earn those achievements, because it'll be a fun challenge, right, for games that I cannot play on the Legion Go. So I don't know. Personally, I think it'd be really cool. It's really unfortunate they haven't really done it yet. There's also been other leaks for, like, the new, like, I'm actually looking at it right now, like, the Microsoft new Xbox mode on Windows has leaked for, like, any handheld. Windows enthusiasts have found a way to get the new Xbox full screen experience running on Windows 11, and basically allows you to run on something like this, basically a Xbox interface. Makes it work just like a console and just like the Switch 2, essentially, just minus the Switch playable games, right? But it basically works in a similar way. Also, the other thing we have outside of this stuff is we do have this little bit theory here, because we are going to be looking at a lot of theories now, like, as we're getting closer and closer to the release of Legends EA, and as we're also hopefully, you know, going to be getting that DLC not too long from now. Basically, there's going to be a lot of theories about what the megas are going to be, and here is some ideas for what the megas could be. So here is what Blaze says. In the trailer, I've noticed something. There's a Sceptile and a Delphoxite, but no Megastone matching any Water Starter Megastones, but also 2 new blue Megastones look like they could be for water types. So could one of these indicate a new Mega Water Starter? Well, could it be Primarina, I guess, in this case? Well, I don't really know. It's an interesting theory, but again, we have to wait and see, because there's, again, a lot of talks about, like, what's going to be, like, the next Legends game afterwards. There's been a lot of talks about maybe it being Alola. That talks about it being maybe literally going straight to Galar, or maybe going to Hoenn. Honestly, I don't really know. I think Hoenn would make a little, like, less sense purely off of the fact that we just had, you know, Gen 6 get, like, a Legends game, essentially. And that was set in Generation 6, and Oras was also in Generation 6, so, you know, it's kind of like they're too similar in a sense, or they're too connected, unless that's the goal, right? And making sure the whole mega thing is still becoming, like, the big thing, because they could introduce even more megas in Oras, in a Legends Hoenn type game, right? Though I highly doubt it. I think the most likely scenario would be something totally different, like Johto, shit, even Unova more likely, or the most likely one, in my opinion, weirdly enough, Galar. I know it's like we had it so recently, but I genuinely think they'd be crazy enough to do that. Even though personally I would prefer it if we just stuck to, like, one of the older generations, like Gen 2 or something, or Gen 3. You know, that would be fun, or Gen 5 could be great too. But you never know. They could even go Alola if they're crazy enough. But yeah, so that pretty much is that theory. Again, guys, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out and bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day.